Music producers is Curtis King, CurtisKingBeats.com, and I'm here today to do a review on the Kontakt library analog strings by a company called Output. This thing is a beast, man. Let's talk about it. Music producers, please excuse me if it sounds like I'm whispering. Lil man's over there asleep, and I'm trying to keep him asleep, but we got to get this review off. However, music producers, I've been on a search to get some legitimate sounding strings. Now, my go-to back in my pirating days used to be Session Strings Pro. That thing was so authentic sounding that it made me hate the sound of like synthetic strings. Strings are very important towards my sound design. They're very important towards my more dramatic hip hop beats, especially the ones where I focus more on live instrumentation and live drums. You can't have anything cheesy with your strings. I feel like those are the easiest things for the naked ear to point out. So I was doing some research and I came across some strings from a company that I was already familiar with because of their other library called Exhale. It's a company called Output. First things first, Output puts out some really high quality libraries, not just with the sounds, but with the layout. If you look at it right now, this thing looks futuristic and it's not a far cry from Output Exhale. Exhale, if you don't know what it is basically a Kontakt library that has like a lot of vocal one-shots, a lot of vocal pads, and like a lot of vocal sounds just to add within your beats. It's really perfect for like future bass type sounds or even like EDM sounds. You can use it within hip hop. There was a song by French Montana and Kodak Black that happened to use a sample from Output Exhale. The song was called Lockjaw. So this stuff is high quality. It's being used on many different levels, but let's focus in today on analog strings. First, what I want to do, I want to take you through a brief walkthrough. After we go through the walkthrough, I want to show you a beat that I made using only these instruments. First things first, this is the main screen that you're seeing, and off top, even this first string that comes in is really a good representation of the power of this particular string instrument. So as you can see, the sounds sound really good, but there's a lot of manipulation we can do to it. So if we just take one of these sounds, we can manipulate the rhythm, change the spread. We can even filter it. We can shape it. Besides their 500 presets, they have some one-shots, they have some pads, and they also have some tape-recorded sounds as well. Now, the dope thing about the one-shots, obviously, it allows you to just add some quick little things within your beat. The pad, obviously, these are a little bit more drawn out. That's dope. And then the tape. Let me tell you the dope thing about the tape ones, because you get to do a little bit more manipulation with these. So we're going to mute this one for now. That's the other layer. What I want to show you about this is basically if we take this and then we close it, we have the option to reverse this now. Extend this out. Take the loop off. So that's just the main section. Now the next section is the edit section, which basically gives you the option to mess around with the envelope of the particular sound that you're using. You can change the flutter, the stereo frequency. You can also change the tone of the sample, so you can make it even a little bit deeper if you wanted to. Let's take that down. Let's take it back up. There's even some advanced settings that allow you to even add a glide to these sounds, which I think is super dope. So if we added a glide all the way up. All right, now the next section you want to pay attention to is the FX. So there's basically some built-in FX that you can add to these sounds to get an even more customized sound. The first one is a filter, the next one is an EQ, the next one is distortion, the next one is a compressor, the next one's a motion feature, the next one's a delay, and then the last one is a reverb. So if you click on these individual ones, you'll see that it gives you enough options to really manipulate these sounds and make them your own. And also they've separated to where you can add effects all across the board to both of those samples that you're manipulating, or you can just add it to one particular layer. So that's all on you. The next section, the rhythm section. This is pretty dope, especially if you're making, like I said, a lot of those future bass type sounds. You'll be able to really manipulate the strings and have it kind of do that LFO swell if you want that. But basically, if I play this chord, I can add a preset down here. So say we do long short. So the last one is the arpeggiator. You could do some crazy stuff with that. I don't know what you thinking, but I'm thinking some crazy stuff I could do with this. You can also hit the arpeggiator in reverse. Even add a swing to it. All right, so that's pretty much the walkthrough as is. There's a lot more features on here, but I wanted to kind of give you a quick walkthrough just from what I'm using in particular. Now let's get to the beat. So this is what I made using specifically only sounds from this particular Concept Library analog strings. You guys let me know what you think.
Curtis King.
I promise y'all I ain't on no kind of drugs. I just be having fun with this sound design. Ever since I stepped on FL Studio 20, I just been going ham. So these are the credits. These are the people who made this thing possible. Round of applause for this beast that y'all put together. This is definitely going to complement my more emotional and more dramatic hip hop beats. There's a lot of features on here that I didn't go over, but I think it's definitely worth its price tag. Any of these, if you see output on the brand, you know that it's fire. One last thing, thank you to our sponsors, Plug-in Boutique, who made this review even possible. Shout out to Leon for providing me with the opportunity to make these things happen. So if you guys are interested in getting this, you can go down to my custom link within the description below. Either way, this is Curtis King, CurtisKingBeats.com. Peace. Please subscribe to the channel below, Curtis King, CurtisKingBeats.com.